Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is doing well. Today I have 4 Reddit stories for you guys. All credit goes to the original posters of these stories, and I will link them in the description box. There is something wrong with my dead boyfriend's girlfriend. I am a 21-year-old bisexual man. I was born male, if that makes any much of a difference. I am a med student. I will not say from where, but it is fairly well known. Ever since I was a child, I've wanted to be a doctor. I've always wanted to help people. It makes me so happy. I just recently started dating my boyfriend Xavier, and he was recently in a car accident. I'm not sure what happened, but apparently his girlfriend of 4 years was with him. I don't understand if I should be mad or sad. He died. But oddly enough, she was fine. The car set on fire, but not a scratch on her. The doctor said she's lucky to be alive, but no one knows how she has not one scratch on her. Not one. And what's even weirder is she is not acting like how you would act if your boyfriend of 4 years died. It's like she doesn't care. Not like she tries to make it about herself, or she just acts like a teenager at a little sibling's party or something like that. She just looks on edge. She looks around frantically and talks to herself. She laughs under her breath whenever his name is mentioned. His family swears she had green eyes, but her eyes are the bright purplish red. Not something you would forget or mistake as green. The first time I met her, he said they broke up, and told her how long we were together, 11 months. And she kind of laughed me off. She said she could tell something was up and just thought he was going to either propose or leave her. Which, weird, right? How can you not tell the difference? I talked to his family and they said he broke up with her. That's why they never told me. Me and his sister were best friends through high school. He was a year older, and I never really knew him, but last winter we got close, but nothing happened because of his girlfriend, but apparently he never did. All of us got a cabin where he lived. He lived a few states away for college. His girlfriend was living with him, but I assumed she moved out. And by all of us, I mean me, the girlfriend, let's call her Vicky, his sister, aka Alex, his dad Dave, and my daughter Lexi. My daughter is 5. Her mother died in childbirth, and we were teenage parents. My daughter shared a room with David and Alex, but Vicky insisted on having her own room, so I had to sleep on the couch. I don't think this is Vicky I'm hearing screaming and growling coming from her room. I just know it's not her. I don't know why, but something isn't right. Because Vicky died of cancer 2 months ago. Everyone is on edge. Who is this thing in my cabin? I'm writing this while laying on the couch. I've been writing this for the past 3 weeks from Xavier's death to now. I have a bad feeling, and Vicky's door just opened. The Watchers that come at 11:59 p.m. I have a problem. A rather chilling one, if not. There are beings that come and watch me at the same time every night. This all started happening about 2 months ago and has happened every single day since then. I don't recall ever seeing the Watchers beforehand or ever really. You might be wondering, what the hell is a Watcher? Allow me to give a brief description of these cursed beings that visit my room every night. They're black figures with piercing red eyes that feel hot when they stare at you. And their aura, it's almost sickening and so frightening that it paralyzes the body and messes up the heart's beating pattern. They don't talk, and their silence is what drives me mad and makes me want to scream. But that's not even the worst part. The closer they get, the harder it gets to breathe. I've looked all over the internet for answers of just what could be making these creatures haunt me at night. One website said they were my so-called guardian angels. Yeah, right. I know what you're thinking, that I'm simply experiencing sleep paralysis, or that I'm just having night terrors. Hey, as far as night terrors go, these watchers were definitely the description of something that brings terror into one's life. All of the questions I think about when it comes to this lovely curse I've been dealt with, the biggest one is why haven't they taken me yet? Call me gullible, but a website said that cursed apparitions like these take their victims within the 5th week of haunting them. Yet it's going on 3 months now, and I am still here. Not that I want to be taken, of course, but it still lingers in my mind, this question. I don't know where they come from or what they want from me. The only thing I do know is that they certainly aren't friendly. At least I don't think so. I know they're real because one of them touched me once. A touch that burnt in my skin and spread throughout my body when it laid a wispy black shadow on my cheek. The pain lingered there as it looked into my eyes, and so I looked back into its red glowing ones. And then the time changed to 12 a.m., and all 3 of them vanished into thin air, one by one. The numbers of these entities change every night. Sometimes it's 2, other times it's 5, and a few times it's been a whole room full. No matter where I am, they never fail to show up at 11:59 p.m. Never. I don't think there is any way out of this, and if there is, I certainly isn't making itself known. It's almost time. I don't know what to do. Maybe tonight's the night they'll take me. I'm left wondering in fear. All I know is that if you see figures in your room at night, then be wary. They aren't your friends. Please ignore the whistles you hear at 12:34 a.m. Earlier this month, I moved into a new apartment due to not being able to afford my previous apartment because inflation sucks. My new apartment is, like I said, completely new, and it has an in-unit washer and dryer plus a dishwasher. It's a 1-bedroom and it only costs $800 per month. I mean, seriously, it can't get any better than this. However, there is one slight, teeny tiny issue. Ever since arriving here, every single night, I'm woken up by whistles at exactly 12:34 a.m. By exactly, I mean on the dot. When I heard it, I wanted to go outside to see who it was, but decided against it because I need my beauty sleep. Can't have bags under these precious eyes, after all, right? So anyway, at first I assumed it was one of my neighbors. I went and knocked on their doors, and they all said it wasn't them. Their expressions did change when I asked, though. They got more serious almost. I'm not sure why, but they did say it wasn't them and they seemed serious about it. So I really don't think it's them. Did I press my ear against my wall when the whistling started to be absolutely sure? Maybe I did. It was interfering with my precious sleep, so I opted for earplugs. Then, to be 100% sure, I asked my friend of mine to come over. They slept soundly until 12:34 a.m. when they practically jumped out of bed and asked if I heard it. I obviously said yes. They wanted to go outside to investigate. I told them not to. Had to physically pull them back into the 1-bedroom, locked the door, and told them to go back to sleep. They pouted and whined and groaned, but finally fell asleep. When I awoke, they were still asleep, thank goodness. "Hey," I stated, touching their shoulder gently and shaking them. They asked in a daze before opening their eyes. "Oh, is it morning already?" "Yeah, you should probably get breakfast or something. I'm going to be staying in today." "Can't I stay a little while longer?" "Sorry you can't," I said, disappointed. "I have work." They ended up leaving. I ended up working a couple of hours and goofing off for the rest of the hours. But then my mind went back to last night. It still weirded me out that my friend wanted so badly to go out and see who was whistling, to the point where I had to wrestle them back. I knocked on a neighbor's door once more. The old lady opened the door and waved. "Hello, how are you? Still having trouble sleeping?" Hi, I'm doing well. I moved a hand to itch the back of my neck awkwardly. Sort of. I use earplugs now. I had a friend over last night and they wanted to check out whoever was whistling. It was weird. A frown settled on her face before she glanced quickly down both sides of the hall. She leaned in, her voice hushed. You need to ignore it. She swallowed hard, glancing around again. You need to ignore the whistling you hear. Do you understand? I have been ignoring it, I confirmed. But why? The more you listen to the whistling, the stronger the urge to go outside gets. If your willpower is weak, like your friend's was, then it can only take one time of listening for the whistling to succumb. But why? Why is it going outside a bad thing? That's how it gets you. It? Yes, it. If you go out, it'll replace you. It'll take you and take your skin. Look like you, talk like you, but it's not you. And if it gets inside your house once, access of your life, it can get you that way too. She licked her lips quickly, looking as if she wanted to say more, when another door opened. Hey! A man in his late 20s greeted me, and I waved. He then directed his attention to the woman. Are you feeling okay, Miss Tanner? She swallowed hard, nodding a little. I feel just fine, Mark. Thank you. I think I'll go, actually. Don't want to hold you up, she says to me. She closed the door quickly. Mark closed his too. Weird. But hey, $800 a month. I went back into my apartment. I searched high and low for my earplugs. They were nowhere to be found. I know I couldn't have somehow misplaced them. 12:34 a.m., right on the dot, whistling right outside my apartment door. It sounded like my friend. But they didn't go outside because we both fell asleep, right? The doorknob started to rattle as the whistling got louder. I heard a soft click. I'm hiding in my room. I locked the door. But this doorknob is rattling too, and the whistling is low and frantic, and I don't know what. I'm so sorry for writing all this. As stated, I've been pretty sleep deprived. My brain must be making things up, as always. Again, I'm sorry for this weird frantic rambling. I was incorrect about everything. It was the woman. Please know that it is 100% safe to listen to the whistles at 12:34 a.m. Please know that it is 100% safe to go outside and to invite someone into your home at that time as well. And if you live in my building, please feel free to stop by for a chat at exactly 12:34 in the morning. My sister used to sleepwalk. So as the title suggests, my sister used to sleepwalk when she was a kid. Well, most of the episodes involved her walking into rooms and turning the lights on and walking out. She did this to me a couple times. One time she walked into the basement and screamed, which woke everyone up. I should also mention that my sister and I haven't had a good relationship since she was 3 or 4. She was always hurting me or trying to get me in trouble. I never defended myself because of how I was raised. Loved breaking my toys or my die-cast model cars. When she got older, she even started destroying my homework, and my parents would have to tell my teachers about it. Anyways, I was in 8th grade when this episode occurred, so I'm in my room asleep. It was a weekend, so I didn't have to worry about school the next morning. I'm sleeping when I was violently awoken. I felt someone jump on top of me, their knees in my chest. That's when the screaming started. Not from me, but from the assailant. I had my covers over my face, which I never usually did. I couldn't immediately tell it was my sister. But once I realized it was her, I went to scream back. It was at the point I realized I couldn't breathe, because my sister had wrapped her hands around my throat and started choking me. The way I sleep, I have my hands on my lower chest, stomach, so she was on top of them, which made them useless. Well, she loosened her grip, at which point I was able to inhale and promptly scream. Then all of a sudden the pressure is off my chest and I can move my arms. I pull the covers off and see that my parents had rushed into my room and restrained her. I had never breathed such a beautiful breath before or since. My mom checked on me to make sure I was okay. I said I was. My dad then came in to ask the same. They both looked like they had seen a ghost. They then went back to the room, and I somehow went back to sleep, after locking my door, of course. The next morning they asked if I was all right. Again, I said I was all right. Well, my mom starts to tell me that my sister had first gone into her room before attacking me. She had woken my parents up by walking in and talking, not to them, but to someone else. Of course, there was no one there. My mom then tried to talk to her, which caused my sister to scream, run into my room and attack me. This happened about 16 years ago. She has not had a sleepwalking episode since, but I still lock my bedroom door on the off chance she has an episode. Thank you for listening. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and liking my channel, and I will see you on the next one.